new boy toys. They're just sexy boys.
You know you love that intro, Flip. You know you love it. Welcome to WrestleFandom After Dark. It is me. It is the WrestleFandom Radio Champion Coffin. And today our guest is none other than the Nickel City Tag Champs, the Savage Anarchy Tag Champ, and the first ever two-time WrestleFandom Radio Champ, and the only person to ever kung lao me with a hat flip root. What's up, bro? Yes, I will be pulling the video up to show them like this later on because that video.
I was in a dark place back then. All right.
We'll get to that later.
Let's clear that up. All right.
We'll get to that later. What happened before that? Because that made me laugh so hard.
We'll get to that later, but it's the fact remains is that it was so awesome I wasn't even mad. Okay, so
right. I mean, you shouldn't be. I will not apologize for art. So just be glad.
Nor should you. Nor should you. So welcome to the show. I've wanted to get you on for a while. If anybody watched anything on UWE Ultimate, they saw me try to constantly get an interview with you, but like you said, dark place. But it looks like you're not in a dark place anymore. So boom, here we are. Finally. So how's it going?
Things are going well, man. Since the last time anybody might have seen me on UWE, if you've been following that, you'll remember we had a clash between both the WFR champion here, Mike Coffin, and my father, the SOG Ronnie Ribs.
Yes.
And most people have asked me what happened between then and now. What has happened and how did I become this new and improved, I suppose you could say, version of myself? How did I get the name Ribs? What happened to Z Woo and all of that? And in all reality, it's kind of a long story, to be honest, but to shorten it up. Back when I first started wrestling, I ran into a bit of trouble. See, as Coffin well knows, when I debuted for a company called Immortal Championship Wrestling, myself and a few others weren't exactly welcomed as the new kids on the block.
No, we would have welcomed the new kids on the block, all right? The actual new kids on the block. We would have welcomed them.
Right. Yeah, I suppose. But there was a match that actually I didn't get to be a part of, you see, because anybody who watches that match back, I got blackbagged by a certain somebody. And from that point on, I made my entrance with my UWE boys, Brother Jonas and the Stomper Brothers. We were ready to go to war. And all of a sudden, I wasn't there. Most people remember later on that night, I made my debut as Z Woo under the flag of Bin Hameen and Blaze Haram as the third member of the House of Saad. And let me tell you, man, those were some dark and wild times. And it's been a hell of a ride. Like I said, anybody who's followed UWE Ultimate, they've seen what I've put people through. They've seen kind of the immersion and the growth of one half of Black Dragon as Z Woo.
Right.
As you stated earlier, the first ever 2-time WFR heavyweight champion. And
you know, to not to interrupt your story though, but to get when we're talking about that, who you beat and how you beat both of those men is pure insanity. Because
absolutely,
the first person you beat is this guy. I don't know how I'm going to look in the is Coffin, you know, and
Well, right now
Coffin
you're
is
dancing.
not,
I don't appreciate that.
he is not a small man.
No, he is not.
And you know, and you are in fantastic shape, but you are not the biggest person. I'm not saying anything negative, but
Right.
you know,
Clearly, you haven't seen him in the locker room when he's walking around after a shower.
yeah. So it's but to wear him down, to Bugs Bunny him essentially, and then capitalize and win is insane. All of a sudden, I mean, he was. How long were you running with the belt before that, Coffin?
About 2 years.
Yeah, yeah, it was a
About
while.
2 years, a little over 2 years.
Yeah,
Right.
It seemed like a long while.
And then it took a midget and a terrorist to beat me. So
yeah. So then you lose it to Brutal Bob Evans. And if you're gonna lose it to somebody, I mean, right? But then
Absolutely, you know.
But then you get it back from him, which is even more insane and awesome.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I mean, shout out to, yeah, definitely. Just, you know, shout out to, you know, Brutal Bob Evans, Uncle Bob. That was twice he put me through the ringer. And, you know, one day we're going to have to run it back because we're 1-1 now. So we got to see who the better man is at the end of the day.
Yeah.
both of those were amazing matches. Just from the watch, I give you all the credit in the world. You know,
I appreciate that. Thank you.
And just holding your own, beating them once. I mean, you lost this match, like you're 1-1. You got nothing to be ashamed of, and I can't wait for that third match to happen so I can watch it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And absolutely. And then
now wait, where's that belt now?
Don't start with the guest, Coffin. Don't start with
You know what?
Listen,
No.
I should have warned you.
All due respect, Coffin is the first and only man who can say he has beaten both members of the Ribs family for that title.
There we go.
This is
So respect is as respect does.
And for the record, you are the only one to ever pin me in any situation.
That's big.
Real recognizes real, man.
Exactly.
That's big. And so everyone who's watching it is clear. Obviously, Coffin got it back, making him the second 2-time and current champion, which then led to me getting hit with a hat, which was just about. I mean,
Hilarious.
once my feelings were done being hurt for like that moment, and then I watched it back, I was like, this may be the best thing I've ever seen. So because I'm on a tablet,
you know, I beamed you with that thing. Like that was like a heat-seeking missile.
Yeah. So because I'm on a tablet and I can't exactly screen share, I might be able to screen share, but I don't want to mess with this, and I haven't tried it yet. So I'm gonna put my phone right up here, make sure everyone can see this. I'm gonna hit play, right? Zero.
Listen, I watched the recording of that whole episode, and that was right after our match. And I texted Garrett. I said that the opening to that promo is the best thing I've seen that made this show. He goes, really?
So
But
yeah,
you won your belt back. I said, it doesn't matter. You getting hit with that fucking hat made this show.
And you know,
so
that has always been a thing that people have wanted. Everyone's always been like, "Oh, it's a Raiden hat. It's the Kung Lao hat. When are you gonna throw it at someone?" And I was just pissed off enough.
me,
And you just
I got
happened to
it.
be the guy.
Yes,
You know?
I don't mind being the guy that stuff happened to. It's
Oh,
fine.
yeah.
Let's talk about Sarah and Rain then.
Yeah, exactly. Like me getting kicked right in the middle of a ring by Sarah and Rain in front of however many people were at the couple hundred.
Yeah, Saren's got some nasty kicks, man. I haven't mixed it up with him yet, but
He usually
he's a worker
lays
for sure.
right here, right on this side.
And
So yeah,
you deserve every one of them. So
what?
I said you deserve every one of them.
I don't know. No, I don't.
You don't protect yourself. You keep inviting him to speak to you. You don't bring backup, and you put yourself in a perfect position to take the side of the face.
This may be
He's
true.
got a point. Yeah, no, he's got a point.
All right, that may be true. All right.
Thank you.
So obviously, UWE goes on hiatus, and like you spoke about earlier, you seem to have come out of the the programming of the House of Saad, and
Yeah, man. I mean, I personally have never been through MK Ultra, but that's probably as close as I'm gonna get.
yeah,
And
yeah,
you know, it took a lot for me to kind of remember who I am. One of the biggest things it took was getting slapped in the mush by my father, the SOG Ronnie Ribs. And that kind of shook me free to kind of question everything. It took my brother, Dante Dio, my brother in arms, calling me out, questioning if I was going to be there for my father. It took both uncles, Osiris and the mother effing Doc O, to kind of make me stop and think rather than just rush headlong and recklessly into the dark like I have been. And I gotta say, since I've pulled my head out of the water, things have been good. Dante's had my back. He's kept me on the straight and narrow for the most part. And right now we're running as double tag team champions.
that's
Right
what I
now,
wanted
like
to. Yeah,
at the beginning, absolutely. You know, at the beginning, the Savage Anarchy Wrestling champions for their tag division out in Marion, Ohio, and the Nickel City Tag Team champions for Nickel City Wrestling. And despite what any naysayers may say, that's no small feat. You know, Dante and I are out here week after week putting our names, our bodies on the line just to really show exactly what the fellowship has been telling everyone, and that's lineage matters. You know, Dante Dio and myself, we come from a very long and respectable line of tag team wrestling. You know, anyone who's anyone knows who the fellowship is between Osiris and the SOG, Ronnie Ribs.
right.
And yeah, those are some big shadows to step out of. But I'd like to think he and I are doing a pretty good job of it.
Yeah, I mean, to be, to go out to Buffalo, where, I mean, anyone who knows anything about, here locally, that, between Immortal and between UWE, there's guys coming from Buffalo all the time. There's always Buffalo dudes to show up. So then for you guys from here to be champs there, it's big. It's big. And then, I'm sorry, you said the Anarchy, that's out in Ohio?
Yep. So
That's
Savage Anarchy Wrestling is based out of Marion, Ohio. And not for nothing, they took a chance on us. So I speak of myself and Dante Dio. We are collectively known as the Wayward. And we're a tag team that, if you've ever watched the Wayward wrestle, we're a bit unorthodox. We'll beat, it's that age-old phrase of beat a motherfucker with another motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Dante will
I've
pick me
literally
up and
done that.
Yeah. So
I've
you get
literally
it.
done
But that's what we do,
I've seen him do that.
Yeah. And it's effective. You would know.
Oh, yeah.
It's effective. After opening my eyes and kind of shaking myself free of everything that happened, I kind of had to go on a journey to, that self-finding journey. And I found myself basing out of Dogtown, California. And that's where the Wayward's booked out of. Anybody ever needs a couple of heavy hitters, they know how to reach us. And let me tell you, the Lords of Dogtown don't play. The Last Hope, Dante Dio, and the Greyhound, Flip Ribs. We came out as a couple of strays from the streets and found our way in Ohio. And again, like I said, they took a chance on us and they gave us a home. And again, we found our way into Buffalo, and another promotion gave us a home, gave us a chance. And now we're running as double tag team champs. And man, I got to tell you, that is a fantastic feeling to know that my brother in arms tagged with my father, and now he's tagging with the son of his former tag partner, and still running tag team gold, hot and heavy. And it's just the beginning.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's fantastic. Is tag team the focus right now, or are singles matches like obviously like still on the table if you're
Oh,
happen to be.
absolutely. See, the thing is, I might not be the biggest dog, but I've got a big bark and a big bite. So whether it's with Dante by my side or by myself, I'll fight anybody.
Right. That's
Coffee
awesome.
knows this.
So now,
Right. But on your own, without somebody watching your back, how did it go for you?
Aren't we 1-1?
Yes, but you're gonna be quicker to get the return match with me.
This is true.
Also, with you, I don't need a reason. I don't need a reason. I just need a place, and I need to know it's you. I'll fucking be there, hell or high water, and do what I always do.
We can
Try
make
to
that
make you
work.
break. I'm all for it, brother. I'm all for it.
You're very good at that.
Oh yeah, man. Listen, when you show up looking submissive and breedable, I can't help myself.
Oh, here we go. Coming from the guy who
I
showed up using Godzilla as his entrance music for an Asian opponent.
Yeah.
Speaking of devil.
This was actually an accident. This was an accident today, and I was going to change my shirt. I'm like, wait, who are you talking to? Oh, never mind. It's good.
Sure.
And yeah, I used Godzilla, and I sent you back to the massage parlor. You crawled out of it. Happens. It's all good.
Stop being
I did it with love.
mean to the.
I'm not. I'm saying this with love. I'm saying this. Listen, I woke up and chose being a menace today, and I'm trying to contain it.
You really did. You really did.
Look at his face. He knows I say this with love.
Absolutely.
So,
besides, I got some questions for him later.
We are, obviously at the present, but the very beginning, also, and then also all the way up through to where you graduated at let's talk about the beginning of wrestling, because obviously your footprints.
Yes.
Talk about the SOG, like, so.
Now,
Yeah.
hang on
so,
now. Hang on now.
oh,
Hang on now. So, Garrett, how real are we going to get with this? How real are you going to get with this?
What?
Because we'll get to a certain point. I have a question for him, and I want to know what happened. So, and it's some behind the scenes things. Is that okay?
Hey, man, I'm an open book. I got
Okay,
nothing to hide.
then. All right, then let's continue on. All right.
All
From the
right.
beginning.
So, pro wrestling, just like anybody else in this business, has kind of been my focus for as long as I can remember. I remember being young, planted in front of the TV on the floor, and just watching Monday Night Raw. And I got to tell you, something about the larger than life attitude of people you saw on screen, people like Eddie Guerrero, people like Rey Mysterio, Dave Batista. These are all people that, I idolized growing up. And, even to this day, I'm not the biggest person. I'm 5'7". And it was consistently you're never going to make it. Look at these guys and look at you. You can't do this. And it wasn't until No Mercy with Eddie Guerrero and Brock Lesnar that it really hit home for me that I can do this. It doesn't matter how big of a tree, eventually you chop hard enough, it falls. And I did everything I could, from training in martial arts to, doing a year of amateur wrestling in high school, to really kind of just figure out what path I wanted to take to get into pro wrestling. And it wasn't until after I left New York. I moved out of New York for a few months and actually went all the way across the country and lived in Seattle, Washington for a bit. It wasn't until I came back that I found myself no money, horrible paying job, extremely small apartment, just the bare essentials, right? And I'm shopping in Walmart and I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get through the day. And I hear, "Hey, kid." And I look up and it's the SOG. It's Ronnie Ribs. And now he and I first met when I was training at a school called the Institute of Professional Wrestling. I trained there on and off for a bit. I trained with the likes of Mike Skyros, Jacoby Riddick, under Zachary Springate III. And like I said, it was on and off, and I wound up walking away from the school, leaving New York, doing my own thing. So Ronnie and I got to talking, and he offered to take me on the road to help me get back into it, to start training me in the gym and everything of the sort. And I still remember the first trip he took me on. We went to Woonsocket, Rhode Island, to a promotion called Showcase Pro Wrestling. And man, I was hooked. I knew this was the life I needed to live. Like, this was what I had to do. And I was going to do anything to make sure I got there. Let me backtrack real quick before he bites my head off. I also met Dante at IOPW before we even started tagging. He was one of the first people I trained with there. And I know if I don't mention him, he's going to chew me out for that. So much love, brother. I see you. So from there, like I said, it was on and off at IOPW, training on the road with Ronnie, till eventually we heard of a school opening locally, a small town called Clark Mills. And it was a school called Upstate Wrestling Entertainment. So Ronnie and I decided we were going to go take a look and go check it out. And the rest, as they say, is history. I've been training there practically since the doors opened. I am the longest tenured, I believe one of the first and only remaining students of the original class. And I am the first graduate alongside Dante Dio of Upstate Wrestling Entertainment. So to say I've developed back problems by carrying this brand on my shoulders is not an understatement.
Yes. Yes.
But
100%.
Most people, when they hear about UWE, my ugly mug is exactly who they see. And, it's not, most people think when you're in pro wrestling, there's a rocket in your ass and you just shoot straight to the moon. And that's not it at all. Coffin can verify that. It is a lot of
absolutely
hard work. It is a lot of hard work. It's a lot of grinding. It's a lot of sacrifice. And it's a lot of not being able to do what you want to do, paying dues. But man, has it paid off. And not just in pro wrestling. You see, when I met Ronnie, most people don't know this story. But I met him with his 3 sons, my brothers. And most people look at Ronnie and they look at me and on the surface don't see resemblance. But that man took me into his family. Just some kid off the street, some kid who came back from Seattle, didn't have a penny to his name. He took me in. And believe it or not, he and his wife, my mother, adopted me. They brought me in. And not only has chasing this dream given me the opportunity to actually perform and live out that dream, but it gave me a family. And I don't think I could ever be more grateful. It gave me 3 younger brothers who look up to me. It gave me an older brother who more or less we want to beat the shit out of each other anytime we're on the road, but that's wrestling. It gave me a mother who only ever wants the best for me. And it gave me a father who was helping me develop and hone my craft and become the walking arsenal that I am. Most people know him as the SOG, Ronnie Ribs. I get the honor, the pride, and the privilege of calling him dad. And man, when I tell you that is a gift in and of itself.
And you know what, dude? I gotta say that no matter what you do in wrestling, no matter what you achieve, where you end up, that's gonna be the best thing that's ever happened to you. And
100%, man.
In my opinion, you've gotten the most out of wrestling than anybody in the industry ever has.
That's awesome.
I like to think so too, genuinely. And it's been a hell of a ride, from traveling to Massachusetts and having cars break down to almost snapping my leg at the previous show I was just at. Hell, you turned me inside out with a clothesline, Coffin, and I practically tore my rotator cuff clean off the bone.
Yeah, you did.
But through all of it, through training at the Institute of Professional Wrestling, from being the poster child for Upstate Wrestling Entertainment, from traveling numerous painstaking hours on the road with Dante, I wouldn't trade this for the world, honestly. And people are starting to know. People know the name, the Wayward. They know who Flip Ribs is. They know who Dante Dio is. And once again, no thanks to you, Coffin, but the name Ribs is finally holding professional wrestling gold again. And that's something that I take sincere pride in. You mean what? Yeah, no, I'm all ears.
Yeah.
Don't,
So let's
Captain, don't
what's
start.
no. What was your first match?
So my first live match. Now I can tell you my first booking for a match wasn't a match. Was supposed to be a student showcase. No, actually, my first match was in a battle royal for survival championship wrestling, I believe is what it's called.
Rensselaer, New
Um,
York.
yes. Oh, that's right. That's where you and
Yeah,
I first met, isn't it?
that's where we met.
I was in a battle royal. It was a promotion ran by Drake Evans, and I wrestled under the name of Egon with a friend of mine who wrestled under the name of Winston, representing generic tag team number 3. And boy, when I tell you, that was probably some of the craziest adrenaline I've ever felt in my life. Actually, I think there's a clip floating around there somewhere. There were 4 students from UWE alongside Ronnie Ribs in that battle royal. And there's a moment where I believe Jimmy Mins actually comes up to the ring and he grabs my arms and he holds my arms on the ropes. And you see my dad walk up to me and just chop the ever-living shit out of me. I'm pretty sure you can see my soul leave my body and then come right back in. And it was just, oh, man. Winston and I got the shit beat out of us that night. But, man, it was worth it.
This is where I want to get real here. Now, do you remember before the show?
I do.
We met. Winston he met me and he brought me to you and said, "This is the guy that's going to eliminate us. We're going to go out as a tag team over the ropes, double clothesline. It's going to be great." All right, cool, no problem.
It was going to be great.
I got you. And then the time comes and the spot gets set up and you're nowhere to be found. You left your partner high and fucking dry.
So there's a funny story about that. I was all in for that, and I was ready for it until, oh man, what the triplets, the Gatter brothers, I believe.
Yeah, I think I eliminated 2 of them.
One of them grabs me, and I hear over the rope, and I'm like, oh, okay. He's been in this longer than I have. I'm a rookie. What do I know? So I go over the rope, and I'm hanging on. He comes over, and he throws a punch. I block it. He throws another one. I eat it. Boom, down, eliminated, right? I go to the back, and I'm like, man, I had a spot, but card's subject to change. Things happen. Same brother who eliminates me comes to the back, and he goes, man, you were supposed to throw me over the top rope. And I went, son of a bitch. Oh, man. But these things happen, you know?
You just misunderstood him? That sucks.
Yep.
So,
but these things happen, man.
I turned and I look, and you're nowhere to be found. So I go over to Winston, and he's there, and he's like, "Where's Egon?" I'm like, "He's gone, brother. What are we gonna do?"
We're doing
the spot. And I think I grabbed
nothing changes, bud.
I think I grabbed him under his arms like a little child, and I just kind of lifted him up and threw him over the top. And
that sounds about right.
That's just how it is. So yeah, the first time we were supposed to work together, you fucked it up.
Yep. Leave it to me.
It's all right. We made
no, man. That was my first match, and man, was I hooked. You know, and then I took a little bit of a hiatus. I had to take some time to get my personal life in check, but I came back and kind of got thrust onto the scene at Immortal Championship Wrestling with a couple of cool dudes. Like I said before, the Stomper Brothers. And
who's your favorite
Brother
Stomper,
Jonas.
and why is Frankie?
Yep.
There's another one?
What? Who's
But it was
your
only-
favorite person to train with, and why is it Brother Jonas?
My favorite person to train with. Yeah, honestly, Jonas is
Yeah.
I miss him a lot. Brother Jonas was that was my man. You know, we
What,
trained together, and I miss him. I do. He actually he does kind of like a Piper's Pit segment for Dynasty. He calls it the
Does
Smoke Show, and that is, given his personality, that is spot on. If you get what I
check
mean.
that out. So, what? Speaking of stompers, what's Emo Ryan's fascination with Terry?
So I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I don't know. I don't
Okay.
know. Trevor Terry, if you end up seeing this, you are a phenomenal athlete. You know, everybody at UW loves you, but for some reason, you are exactly who Scott Stomper wants to grow up and be. So
That's not a bad
don't pull
thing.
a John Cena. You're a role model. Remember that.
Yeah, he could want to grow up to be worse. I mean, that's not such a bad thing, you know.
No,
Terry's
it's
some
not.
good. He's good people. He's good shit. So how come you always
Yes.
seem to find yourself around Chris Red when he's naked? Is that on purpose or?
I don't think I find myself around Red when he's naked. I think Red gets naked and finds me.
Dude, I've seen
Yes.
him bust through a. I've
I'm
seen him
co-
bust through a door.
I
to get
I
to him.
gotta stick. I gotta stick with Flip on this one. I got it. I think it's Red is just naked, and then
He doesn't like
when
clothes, man.
camera just
he really
ends up.
doesn't.
Well, I mean,
You
he gets
know-
hot. And
He does. He does. It's very funny that you mention him because my first time ever in a pro wrestling ring, in a live show, I was a ref for NYCW, and one of my fellow refs at the time actually was Red. It was Chris Patempa, and that was something that I didn't realize until like a year down the road after UWE opened, and I was like, "Did you ever ref at this promotion?" He goes, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh yeah, I think you gave me a candy bar when I was dying once." He goes, "Yep, sounds about right." So that was
what he does.
that was
See, I've known Nick.
man,
I've
like
known him.
everybody I've been in the ring with, I feel like I've been in a locker room with on more than one occasion before I started wrestling. But
Yeah, it happens.
neither here nor there.
But
Yeah.
I've known him for about 20 years, and a lot of people in the business know that I've known him for that long. And they're like, "Has he always been like this, Bud? You have no fucking clue."
You have
He's
no
he's-
idea.
He's actually toning it down right now.
This is
Alright.
hate.
This is mild at best. Like, and you know, I gotta say, getting thrown through a door is one thing when you're wrestling somebody of your stature, but when you see an albino in all of his glory and you are blinded by the reflection of the sun off of that skin and that piercing red facial hair, it's hard to fight after that. You know,
Like,
it's-
from where I was sitting during that match, when the door opened, it seemed brighter.
it
And I
was.
realized
It was if I
because
can
he was
if
standing.
I can be a little out of pocket here, I now know what my ancestors felt like when they saw that giant flash and then another giant flash. If you get what I mean. That was
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
it was bright.
So we got there that night, and I go, Red, I'm working ZU, and I'm gonna aim for the door. He goes, "Say no more." As
Yeah,
soon
man, you
as
guys-
as soon as your music hit and you were through the curtain, he was out back naked.
I believe it. I believe it. Man, like I remember going through that door, hitting cobblestone, hitting just rocks and rolling and stopping at somebody's shoes and just looking up in horror. And I don't know if the camera picked it up, but you can actually hear me go, "Get the fuck away from me.
Oh, I could hear it.
Oh,
And then
I know you could.
Oh,
That was oh man,
that was
nightmares.
amazing, and I loved every part of it. Yeah, for you. I mean, I'm used to it by now.
and as great as that is, if anyone goes back and watches any of the episodes to see when Ziwu at the time finally realized what other people were talking about, and somehow, I mean, I was filming the stuff. I don't know how it got into slow-mo. I swear I didn't do that.
Oh no, you mean the B-reel?
but-
Oh God, that would do not
Go back and watch that
do
promo.
not
guys.
ever let that see the light of day.
Hang on,
It's,
I'm pulling it up.
It's out there. No, it's in an episode, man. It's out there.
That
so-
part's not in the episode. They got cut.
It's not in. They didn't put it in the episode.
That got cut.
I'll air it. I'll
Let's
air
see
it myself. I don't care.
Where do we got? Where is it? I know I got it.
Maybe I won't.
Here we go.
Oh dear God.
Oh, over the other way. There you go.
Ah, son of a bitch.
Oh my God, was this after I got lit up by Bob Evans?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how the music got in there either. Again, look how white it is.
It's so bright.
It's so bright.
It's so painful.
His skin blows out the contrast.
It's so.
Man, dude, it's crazy. Like, I'm out here, man, I'm getting contracts for hits for tag team wrestling with Dante Dio is the wayward. And then you've got stuff like that happens to me. It's almost like my entire life is a movie. It's just,
As it should be. As it fucking should be.
it's crazy, man.
So, do you have? You obviously now as you know, a double tag champ.
Right.
What do you have a favorite match? And I will accept. We can do a singles and a favorite tag as well, since you're, you know, you got a lot going on there. So
I'm gonna have to be honest. Singles. You know what? Singles match was never even a title match. It was never one of my big, you know, broadcasted matches. My favorite singles match I've ever had was when I answered an open call from Chris Jackson at UWE. I have to say, that kid can go. And
we love Chris Jackson.
We do.
Chris.
And that kid and I beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
And to be completely honest, we're tied, but not in the way that Coffin and I are tied. We had a time limit draw. Neither one of us got the win. So, Chris,
we got
you
to
see
get
that?
there. We got to get there. Let's.
We will.
Yeah.
One day we'll cross paths again. And just like last time, we're probably going to end up killing each other. I know for a fact, if somebody lets me and Chris do what we do best, neither one of us are going to be able to walk out of that ring. So, it'll be a good time. But
I'm there
I would
for
have
it.
to say, right, favorite singles match, Ziwu and Chris Jackson. Absolutely. As a tag team, that one's rough. Blaze Ram and I tagged together, and we had some pretty good matches. We had a tag match with Chris Jackson and Richie the Madman that holds a special place in my heart. But in all honesty, I would have to say Dante Dio and Flip Ribs as the wayward against Dangerous Game, Shadowcat, and Kodiak. I can't tell you which one, but every time we step into the ring with those guys, it's magic. And unfortunately, I don't know when the next time you're going to see that is. Over in Nickel City Wrestling, I guess Kodiak wasn't too happy that Dante and I pulled off the win, that we beat the most dangerous game. We played it and we won because at the end of that match, somebody threw a temper tantrum and beat the shit out of his now former tag team partner. So, but
Oh no.
man, yeah, man, trouble in paradise. So
Yeah, I
when it
felt
comes
bad for
down
you
to
too, you son of a bitch.
it, jackpot. But when it comes down to it, man, they were probably my favorite when it came to opponents. It was a lot of fun to mix up styles there, and just to rib on the guys. I won't drop names, but out of the four of us, there were two who liked to sit and discuss the match and talk it over and plan out at least 800 different things and change it up. And then there were two of us that sat back and watched and went, "You got the finish? Yep. See you out there." So, everybody involved knows who's who. But much love to everybody. I hope Kodiak gets that stick out of his ass. Shadowcat, I hope you're doing well. I'm sorry that every time we're in the ring, I have to kick you in the face. It's nothing personal, man. It's just business. All hits are
It's
hits.
the name of the
Contracts are
game.
contracts. It's the name of the game. But
Well, let's
Yep,
see.
so-
If I can make a guess now, working with you, I believe the conversation was make it up, make it up. Let's go. So that
make
kind of
it up,
eliminates
make
you
it
from
up.
certain aspect of that situation.
That is correct. And once again, to put my father over, I get that from him. It's very much, I'll plan a match if I have to, but I'm very much, I can get myself around by walking and talking, not to seem like I'm the, God's gift to wrestling, but I know what I'm doing. Yeah, man, like there are plenty of teams that Dante and I have faced, and it's very hard for me to really say what my favorite of anything is because I love doing this, man. I can't think of anything else I would rather do. When I lived in Seattle, I did this furniture and air conditioning, believe it or not, installation gig. And after that job fell through, you know, you kind of sit there and you think, I don't think I'm cut out to do this for the rest of my life. I'm not cut out to just wake up and be mediocre for the rest of my life. And now I'm going to shows and people want to kill me for things I've done to their fan favorites. There are people that love me as, their fan favorite and want to take pictures with me and tell me I'm their favorite and say watching me wrestle is their favorite thing. Watching me and Dante wrestle is their favorite thing. And, my main mindset isn't to go out there and have match of the night. It's not to go out there and hit this crazy indie-rific 900-degree, 17 different backflip into a front flip with 7 corkscrews involved, Canadian Destroyer pile driver off the 7th rope.
I've seen you've watched every Young Bucks match ever.
Oh, absolutely. But clearly I'm not doing it right because they're the one making the big bucks.
Well, there's reasons.
Big enough.
Well, you've seen their lips, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But my mindset when I go out there is as long as there's one person that goes home going, "Did you see what that flip ribs guy did? Do you remember when that's all I'm worried about, man." And even, to pull a Matt Hardy in the multiverse here, even Z-Woo was for the kids. I'll beat the hell out of anybody, but I do it for the kids. You know what I mean? Like that kid that grew up knowing full well that if Eddie Guerrero can beat Brock Lesnar, so can I. Well, maybe not Brock Lesnar, but you get what I mean.
I don't know. He's getting
Uh,
older.
I don't know. You know, I don't know, but
I know that.
that's what I do it for.
I know that when Mark Merrill heard about his wife cheating on him, he's like, "Well, who the hell was it with?" And like Brock Lesnar, he's like, "Okay."
Okay.
Huh?
Okay.
So when it
Not like
comes
I can
down
do
to
anything
it,
about it.
yeah, what one moment, not in the ring, not necessarily have to be during a match or whatever, but what's that one moment where it stands out to you that okay, I'm doing this right? Like for me, it was in Ken and Harry.
It was this moment.
Was it that moment?
It was this moment.
There we go.
That's,
You know why I was so
that's-
pissed off? That was after he got thrown at Red.
You know that.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yep. There was a lot of throwing going on that day.
There was.
A lot.
But like for me, it was in Canada Harry when I damn near started a riot. And like people were getting pissed because I just got done beating the hell out of Shane and Chip Stetson. And well, I just happened to know where their fan base and family was sitting. And like I got them so mad they were ready to fight. And I'm standing there going, okay, yes, here we go.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll do it.
What's that moment for you?
Dante and I were actually we were in a very similar position, but I'm gonna leave that story for him because I know he's very proud of that one. Moment that stands out to me. So back to Savage Anarchy Wrestling. There is a young fan there. Her name is Nellie. And when I first showed up, she was very shy. You know, it was my debut, very, very new there. The second time around when Dante and I were there, this young girl could not stop coming up to me, asking for pictures, giving me hugs. And she even openly said, I'm her favorite. And man, at that point, like I said, Z-Woo flip ribs is for the kids. And when she told me that, I was like, I'm doing this right. Like, it's for them. It's all for them. I know full well the life I lead. You know, I do pro wrestling. I do martial arts. I ride a motorcycle. You know, I know full well chasing that adrenaline high. Any moment might be my last. You know what I mean? One wrong step and that could be it. But I know for a fact that even with that risk, that kind of moment makes all of it worth it. You know, I mean, hell, like I told you guys earlier, I damn near snapped my leg this past weekend at Savage Anarchy Wrestling, and I had people I had to go out there and show I was okay. You know, and she was definitely one of them. So, Nelly, if you end up seeing this, my girl, I got you.
You're a lot nicer. You're a lot nicer than I am because I went through a door and went to the back, and that was it. I didn't go out and let anybody know I was okay. Fuck them. You know, and the first one through the curtain was Garrett. I'll give him that.
Right.
He beat the EMTs.
No, man, you know, when your last name is Ribs, you kind of live with the mindset of your parents raised the soldier, not a bitch, you know? And while I might not be the SOG, I am the SOS. I am the son of the soldier. I'm the guy you call when shit gets real, when you need somebody who's not afraid of punching someone in the face and getting punched in the face in return. You need me, you call me. I'm there, I answer the call. So being the son of the soldier, even if my leg was snapped backwards like a flamingo, I was going out there and I was making everybody know I'm still here and I'm not done. And that goes for anyone. Future bookings that I have matches on, any challenger that sees this and thinks they're a tag team that can handle us, or even anybody who wants to step toe-to-toe with the soldier's son. I stay frosty 24/7, and I'm ready to go when you are.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
includes you, Coffin.
Oh no, we're gonna have ours, and that's fine. But I know someone who's really
We are.
looking forward
We
to
better.
fucking you, and it's gonna be a tuxedo match. He's gonna
I'm
have to
in.
take yours off. You're gonna have to put his on. I tell you, who's gonna have the harder job. So Red, yeah, you got nothing for that.
I'm not booking that. I'm not. Yeah.
Oh, I'll book that shit. I'll book that. It it is one of those things though. Like I came out eventually, and I signed bits of the table, the door,
Right.
and you know there was again one little girl. I don't even know her name, but every show she was at, it was me and Christina Marie were her absolute favorites, and then it was I can't remember her name. Rainbows. What the hell? She was the champ there for a while. Kayla Sparks. Holy shit. Then
Yeah,
then it
Caleb.
was her. And she was the only one that I made sure that I'm good. I'm good. Everybody else, I don't care, but I'm good. And you're right. It's not about winning, match of the year, although I did. It's not about being, most popular, even though I won that. It's not about holding titles, even though I have one over here. It is about the people, and all joking aside, if you can get them to react to you, if you can get them to care about you, if you can get them to hate you, that is what it's all about. And I don't care if they love me, they hate me. I'm doing my job, and I've seen you do your
Absolutely.
job. And I've been around about as long as you have, but you completely different paths. But anytime you're on the card, I make sure to see what you're doing. Anytime I'm around, I want to see what you're doing because you're just so fucking entertaining. I have to see what you're doing because I know
I
I'm gonna
appreciate
walk. I know I'm gonna walk away being entertained and satisfied.
Yeah,
That's just
I appreciate the hell out of that, man. I do.
yeah.
Thank you.
that match between you and Chris. I could watch. I could probably watch that one on repeat. It really is. It's a banger. He's
And
gonna be out here
Yeah.
soon enough. Whenever the schedules align, and so yeah, that match is killer. But
Right.
again, but
I
close up
appreciate
what Cuff
that.
is saying. Anything you wrestle, I would
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
I'd be over there editing, doing all the regular stuff that I'm normally doing, and it's like, oh, see who's up. All right, hold on, I'm not I'm not editing the. Oh, hey, can I get that picture? Not yet. I'm busy. I'm watching some
I
wrestling.
appreciate it, man.
So yeah, it's a good time.
That honestly, that all of that I have to, every head must bow, every tongue must confess, I owe that to all three men that have trained me in professional wrestling. So Zachary Springate III, Bin Hameen, and my father, Ronnie Ribbs. I wouldn't be able to do half the stuff I do if it wasn't for those three. So any credit I get for being entertaining, for being somebody's favorite, that's all them. That all comes from them. So, but absolutely. And,
Well,
to go back to signing things, Coffin, I got to be honest, there is a young gentleman that was on the tapings with us. I won't drop his
I
name
think.
because I don't want to be
Oh
embarrassed.
no, but I know who.
He still has a cookie sheet that you gifted him from a match.
Gifted
So
him.
you have
Okay.
something to sign.
So what happened was I've never done anything to this kid up to this point. Up to this point, I had never done anything to this kid, but he admitted he was terrified of me. And I'm like, why? He goes, I don't know. You just terrify me. I said, okay.
Dude, you're just you're a teddy bear, dude. Like, that's all
And
you are.
I walked away. And me and Richie the Madman had that hardcore match. And I grabbed one of the cookie sheets. I signed it. And I walked through the curtain. I just look at him. And he's across the room. And he just, like, kind of backing up a little bit. I fucking wung it at him across the floor. And he's like, he kind of moved out of the way. Then he looked and he saw, and he's like, thank you. Like, yeah.
Oh, so you
Dude.
did sign it. That's great.
Yeah, I signed it. I signed it for him and I gave it to him because it's a peace offering. Like, I know you like me. I know you respect me. I know you appreciate what I do. There's no reason to be, scared
you
of
like that, huh?
terrified of me. What's that? What?
Nothing. There's someone that'll see this and they'll catch that. But
And then something happened. And I gave him a reason to be terrified of me. I won't be getting into the specifics, but
no, I remember. I remember.
Yeah, well, you were there. You were good cop. I was bad cop.
Yep.
So I was helping a night with training, and Flip was leading the class, and he messed up. And he messed up to the point where somebody had to go to the hospital. It wasn't serious, but they had to take the trip.
Yeah.
And he was nice. Flip was nice, and he was talking to him, and he was like, "What this and that," and asking him this and that, and he could just see that he was terrified. And then Flip said, "I'm not going to yell at you," and that's when I stepped up onto the apron, because the fuck no one's going to yell at this kid.
Yeah.
So
actually, I believe my words were, "I'm not going to yell at you," and you stepped up on the apron. I went, "But he is." And he turned right around, and that was it.
I let into him for a good 5 to 7 minutes. The thing that upset me the most was that besides the fact that he had hurt somebody, is that he's good. And there was no cause for that whatsoever, except for the fact that he didn't know when to say, timeout, stop, reset, and he ended up hurting somebody. He's good. He's got a lot of potential. He's not a big guy. By any stretch of the imagination, he's not a big guy. But he's good and he's serious. And that, aside from him hurting somebody, pissed me off the most. And I had to let him know. And
that will happen in this business. That's what we all sign up for. We all know injury can happen, man. But at the same time, too, it's not going to go unaddressed. So I think that was the lesson he needed to learn.
Yeah, I've never hurt anybody. You've only hurt yourself.
God, ain't that the truth?
So
yeah,
it is what it is.
It is what it is. And it's funny you say that. Going back to our guys, Chris Jackson, Richie the Madman, much love to you boys.
Yes,
Anytime we had that pre-show meeting where it was like, don't do anything crazy, guys, don't hurt yourselves. If anybody were to look around at everybody in the back, you'd see myself, Chris, and Richie looking at each other like, yeah, okay. Okay, because that's what we do. We put on a show, But, most things are kind of clicking at this point. That's my cat,
Okay.
But as one half of the Lords of Dogtown, one half of the Wayward, I got to tell you that things are being set in motion. As you stated earlier, UWE is still on hiatus, but if things go well, we might be finding ourselves back at the place where it all started. So keep your eyes and ears open for that.
So before we end, are either of the two promotions where you're a champion, are they online at all, or is it just live stuff?
I believe SAW is live, or they're live, and they also put their stuff online.
Okay.
And I believe Nickel City is strictly live. I don't believe there are any recordings, to my knowledge, at least. But April 27th, Nickel City Wrestling will be having their next event. So, find my page, find Dante's page. And if you need tickets, reach out to either of us. We'd love to have you guys there. Anybody that wants to go, I have no problem helping you find a way to the venue. And I'd offer to help get people out to Savage Anarchy, but I completely understand not wanting to drive all the way out to Ohio, even if it's to see myself and Dante. But
Well, it's also Ohio, as Garrett said, and nothing good happens in Ohio.
yeah, well,
Listen, I've been watching a lot of police videos lately, and every other one seems to be out of Ohio or La Crosse, Wisconsin. So La Crosse is
That'll
like a
happen.
fucking GTA server. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I've got to go there.
but no, just remember, anywhere you see somebody that's
Asian.
wreaking havoc, causing too much of a problem, or just too over, never forget your boss can call in a hit on you. And there's a couple of people willing to make that hit, take that contract, and make sure you remember that we'll do whatever it takes. So, Garrett, thank you for having me. Coffin, always a pleasure.
Dude, I love having you. I love talking to you. I love seeing you, man. I mean,
dude, I
Robert,
love being around.
I mean, Robert Bates, I mean, he's not a fan of yours. I mean, your one entrance there, he just yelled, "Go back to Asia" at you. I mean, that was a little off, but that's Bobby Bates.
That's all right. At least I'd be able to walk there without an injured leg.
Ooh.
Fighting words.
That's something we should probably get set up too.
Fighting words.
Eventually.
Let's go.
Eventually, because there's you would be very surprised how often I walk that gray line between good and evil. And like I said, I'll fight anybody. Like I said, not the biggest dog, but big bark, bigger bite. Arf.
UWE's got
Fellas, my phone's about to die.
Let's go.
Thank you for having me. And
Absolutely.
hopefully I'll be back. I'll talk to you guys again. So,
yeah, we'll see you.
all right, fellas. Absolutely.
All right,
take care.
Have a good one.
See you.
All right, Coffin. Another one in the bag. I will not be around next week, which is unfortunate because as far as the other show goes, it's WrestleMania week.
Yep.
But
maybe I'll just have to sneak into that show.
Maybe you'll have to take my place. You might have to because I will just not be available that evening. So hopefully you'll see us back again in a couple weeks. And we'll have our next one.
This was what, 3 weeks in a row?
Think so.
Yeah. All right. We had a good little stretch there. Not next time I'm gonna get 4.
A little stretch. Yeah, and we only have to take a stretch because vacation. So
well, that's true. But we'll get someone lined up again, someone good, and make sure that it'll be fun. And I love talking to him.
Yeah,
I love working with him. He's a good kid. He's gonna go places. He needs more people, more promotions need to book him.
Yeah, absolutely.
If they don't, they're fucking racist. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, and stupid.
Stupid.
You have to be stupid in order to be racist. So I mean, it checks out. The math.
It all goes together.
The math is mathing right there. So
although
all right.
I gotta say, when he came out of ZWO, I heard his music hit. I'm like, what kind of racist ass shit? I'm like, oh, Ben. Okay, it's a Ben creation. Okay, makes sense. It's
Ben did it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So even as racist as it is, it's gonna be good.
It's
well, all right.
All right. I'll see you in a couple weeks.
You have yourself a good one.
All right, you too.
Bye.
Come on. Stop it.
You always have trouble.
It doesn't want to stop.
That's okay. We can edit it out this time.
Seriously. What is this thing's problem?
I don't know.
There it goes.